This week in the Proving Grounds, virtual events, virtual letdown, moving day, Snake,
Metal Gear.
I had to.
Banhammer Aftermath, and more. Welcome to Magic Proving Grounds, the only Magic the Gathering podcast that proves moving your Magic collection is easier when it's digital.
What's the name of our podcast? It's okay. They got it.
I said it.
I just had to
just
make fun of it.
take me up the first half, the last half 3 times, and smash it with the one time I didn't mess up the first half.
Yep.
To go.
There you go. It plays.
So, what have you guys been doing this week?
I spent the last 30 minutes before recording watching pickleball.
Hold
It's
up.
pretty wild.
Who are you? Because we forgot to introduce ourselves.
Yeah, I'm Ben. If you don't know by now.
I am Dave, Pickleball Master.
Yeah, the highlights are ridiculous.
And I'm other Dave. Well, shit. I'm moderator Dave.
This is a mess.
This is a mess. I'm moderator Dave, the moderator of this said podcast.
Do some moderating already then.
I know.
Jesus. That's a fucking train wrecker. I mean,
It is. What the hell is pickleball?
It's like big ping pong, but kind of like tennis, but more like ping pong. It's like in between tennis and ping pong. I don't know much about it. I just watched some highlights. It's pretty wild.
Like cartoonishly large paddles and
it's the number one growing sport in the United States.
Really?
Yes, it is.
I was watching the streamer. His name's Middleditch. He's the star of Silicon Valley. I was just there's no Magic content on Twitch today because all the streamers are not playing because the moving day, right? That I watch at least. And so I was just flipping through and I saw he was watching ping pong highlights. So it's pretty fascinating.
So no Magic stuff to talk about this week? Pickleball?
Well, while I was watching pickleball, I was playing myself in Magic some more, which is getting really old. I'm probably going to do something about that.
Yeah, you make some friends.
Or just play anonymous people on the internet. You can't play Modern Arena, so I'm hoping this, once it comes back up, MTGO is going to be fun.
If it comes back up.
It's questionable.
Yes, jury's still out on that one. So, other Dave, what have you been up to?
Absolutely nothing. Yeah.
That's real fair.
Got nothing. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all good. I didn't do much. It was kid's birthday at the end of the week last week, so played a little.
Isn't that the end of every week?
Well, when you have as many kids as I do, they kind of run together. So yes, but also no. Played some Commander this weekend, which was always fun.
Nice.
I think my kids leveled up because they decided to target me first to get me out of the game, so that I didn't beat them.
That's smart. They team up on you.
Yeah, as a proud Magic Papa moment. I'm like, finally, you guys figured it out. So
I think this week, and I'll report back later if this happens, but I think this week I'm going to do an Unfinity draft with my family.
Ooh.
Just as a fun. But first, I'm going to open the packs and take all the shock lands and the galaxy lands out and replace them with basics.
I'm
don't want their rubbing hands on them.
Debating the comic book store got some Unfinity boxes.
Uh-huh.
And when they open them up, I'm debating trying to buy the box topper.
Oh, yeah. Don't tell them how much it's worth.
What's the box topper on this one?
It's like foil shock land.
Nice.
Yeah.
I have to go get me one of them then. Anyways, let's move on to some news. You guys like the news? You want to talk about some news?
Sure.
News? First up on the docket is they finally announced the details of the virtual event for Magic 30th Anniversary Fest.
Oh, yeah.
And
finally nailed that down, did they?
Finally released the events, which was what I was most concerned about. included with the tickets. You get a voucher for Magic Arena and a voucher for MTGO to participate in a celebratory event for Magic 30. And I'm kind of bummed because I was wrong. It's not a Power Cube on Arena. It's a freaking Chaos Draft event, and it's like
low effort.
Yeah,
which How much is does this thing cost?
$30.
Oh, okay, that's not bad then.
Yeah, it's not. It's just it's like who predicted last week that it was going to be super low effort? Because
I believe that was me.
Definitely put that one in the bag. So for Arena, it's Chaos Draft event, and then for MTGO, it is a 30th anniversary cube.
So that's good, though, right? For MTGO.
Yeah, I mean, if it comes back, we've been 12 8 hours without it. I'm starting to feel sad. I'm starting to suspect that it did.
Okay, so you get the little girl avatar or little Geary avatar on Arena with that. Have you seen it? You scroll down.
Yeah, it's cute. I was going to go over that stuff.
But listen, hold on. You can put your face when you're streaming inside that little box.
The little mouth box. Look like you eating your face.
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's cute. Definitely cute. Yeah, the other stuff you get, like the avatar and whatnot, the sleeves, you get 5 sleeves.
Yeah, this looks cool. I mean, it's worth the money. It's sad that it's not a Power Cube, but they probably need more time.
Whatever. And then some of the events, I think did they have these? I don't think they did, other than
it definitely didn't go into as much detail.
No, but they're doing the virtual panels as well. So there's one with game nights. Then Richard Garfield, there's an Infinity panel. What is magic art? If you want to know, there's a panel on that. And then they're live streaming the cosplay contest. I think as far as the virtual panels and stuff go, that's probably a pretty good lineup.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Yep. Oh, there's a Phyrexian lore panel.
If it didn't have the other stuff with it, then just watching panels for $30 probably wouldn't fly in this day and age. But you do get the other stuff, so that's good.
Yeah, I think it's worth the scratch. It's probably one. It
looks like you can play. Wait. Oh no, that's in the draft. You can use your event token, but you can also pay gems or gold.
Yep. So
it's not exclusive to.
No, it's not. Of course, why would it when they can continue to make money?
I mean, my hopes was that they would give the people an exclusive event. And, but I also suspect that running those events on Arena requires a certain level of player base to play them all at the same time.
Yeah.
And you probably can't get that with just the entries.
Yeah, totally, because not everybody's going to want to pay. Like, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence at this point because I was like, I'll throw $30 that way and get some of the stuff and get the 2 vouchers and it'll be okay. But it's like, I don't really feel like doing a Chaos Draft.
Yeah.
And if I do, I can just friggin' throw some gold at it because I've got some gold. So, I don't know. It's a real conundrum, but I think the panels and stuff are neat. So
I kind of want to watch the Richard Garfield one out of just morbid curiosity.
He's so awkward. I think that it would be fun to watch.
Well, and also the only other time I've heard him actually talk is when he was on Mark Rosewater's podcast, and he basically didn't remember anything. So I want to just have morbid curiosity, see if how many times he says I don't really remember.
He's like, how much drugs were you on, Richard, when you made this set? I need to know.
And it's funny because Morrow will have other people on his podcast that were around during that time, like playtesters and stuff that helped him develop the game. And they remember like every detail of everything.
Like Matthew Perry, when he was on Friends, was on drugs for like 2 or 3 seasons he doesn't even remember shooting because he was on so much drugs during that point in his life that he's like, don't even remember I filmed any of this. Not to suggest that Richard Garfield is on drugs.
No,
just so we're clear.
Some people's people's minds work differently, right?
Yeah,
he's probably I think he was a statistician or something like that, PhD and all that. But he might have been so like working out the right nows that he didn't, tuck away the memories of things.
He only invented Magic the Gathering so that he could make the board game Robo Rally. So maybe he was like, just got to get this out here so I could make Robo Rally.
Yeah, that's my real thing. He remembers every detail about Robo Rally.
Who doesn't remember every detail about Robo Rally?
Best board game ever invented, man. Anyways, I think we should move on before I insult another cornerstone of the Magic community and talk about Moving Day.
Sure.
Moving Day.
Magic the Gathering has grown up, and it's time, now that it's 20, maybe a little past time, for it to move out of its parents' house and go live with Daybreak Games.
Make some real money.
Some real money at Daybreak. Stop living in its parents' basement.
Not developing skills or abilities. Or...
Not progressing past the third or fourth. What is it? The third or fourth version of the client? I don't know. Anyways, the joke is that it's grown up and moved out.
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, there was a joke.
It was a really dry one. It's British humor. You wouldn't understand. Anyways, so earlier this year, Wizards of the Coast announced that they were selling the licensing for Magic the Gathering Online to Daybreak Games so that they could continue developing it on their own. So that time has finally happened.
Yeah, they were basically like, we don't want to do this anymore. It's too much resources, kind of divesting. Well, maybe they didn't say exactly that. I'm putting words in mouths, but they were divesting themselves of it. And Daybreak picked it up as a way to make money themselves because, I mean, I don't think that Wizards really cared that it existed as much.
It's
after
basically
Arena came out.
Free money for licensing fees and advertising, and none of the responsibility for having to actually develop the game. So it's like win-win.
Yeah, I think it sounds like a win-win to me on both ends. I think this would be better for consumers.
I think it's a win-win for everybody involved. The three-way, if you will. Great for WotC, great for Daybreak, great for the players. Because as part of the transition today, we got a post from the team taking over MTGO for Daybreak, kind of explaining what their roadmap was going to be for the future and things they wanted to see added to the game and kind of like what's on the outlook in the coming future.
All right, so this is exciting because some of the things that they're saying that they would like to improve is battlefield automation. So like Arena does the auto tapping when you slam a card down.
Ooh, auto passing too. I'll tell you what, there is because you got so many clicks when you play Magic Online that you're just like, okay. Yeah. And then you just get like click fatigue and then you click past your turn if you're not paying attention and then you're like, damn it.
So one of the things that's funny about MTGO in general is that the meta on Moto is different than in paper because people specifically won't play decks due to how many clicks, and it's all timer based too. So if your deck requires a lot of clicks and your time runs out, then you lose or whatever. So like they don't want to do that. So the meta is different. Like Hardened Scales is not really a Moto deck.
So the constraints of the client are warping the meta and not necessarily in a good way.
In a weird way. I just think it's humorous. Yeah,
so they're adding battlefield optimization, great. Multi-factor authentication, which I think is great.
If you don't want somebody to steal thousands of dollars worth of cards that you own on there.
Not everybody's like me that forgets their password every time they try to log on. They have to reset it. So the multi-factor will help protect collections and whatnot. And then the thing that interests me that they said was play rewards, and to specifically quote the article, it says, a great game of Magic is certainly its own reward, but we want to introduce some no-risk incentives for playing beyond the fun of the game.
They said no risk?
No risk.
Wow,
yeah,
the word no. Okay. That bodes well, I'd say.
Yeah. My question is this a ladder like what Arena does or Daily Quest?
Everybody likes ladders.
So the one thing that's sorely missing in Moto in general is a matchmaking system that you don't have to pay for.
Is Moto a common way to say that?
Yes, it's the most common.
Okay. I'm just curious. I've never
Mitgo's moderator Dave's thing.
I have never heard anyone simply refer to it. Most people that I talk to just say MTGO.
Right. Well, it gets really, really crazy when you see some people spelling it MODO or MOTO, and you're like, which one's the right one? Because neither makes actual sense.
Yeah. I've heard people just use the MTGO initial. But anyway, that's
so. But previously, the way it was before it shut down, in order to get match made with somebody, you had to enter a league, and leagues, depending on the high level of play, I guess, leagues were anywhere from $10 to $30. So in a more of a bigger event, it would be a $30 entry fee versus, just standard. You can pay $10 at any time to enter, which is kind of a detraction from playing, right? Mm-hmm. In one way, it makes it so that whoever you're playing is going to be a serious opponent because they just paid $10. But in another way, if you just want to try a deck out, it's harder for you to do so on the client because the way that you need to try a deck out is sit in a lobby and wait for somebody to join. Mm-hmm. And just wait, right?
Yeah, that's never fun.
And then somebody gets in there and realizes what you're playing, and you're like, oh, I don't want to play that. And then they scoop and leave, and you're like, I didn't get to test my deck. So now you have to put on the description of your lobby that you're in, like, hey, I'm playing this deck. Please come and be nice or whatever, begging people to come play with you. So if they have if what they mean by no risk incentives to get them to play, then if that means that they're going to matchmake without paying that entry fee, I'm like, that fixes all the problems I have with actual problems I have. Yeah, sure, I would like it to auto tap, and I would sure I'd like them to not have as many clicks, but it would I would still play that if they matchmake,
Yeah, and that's the thing with the ladder that I think most people who play the ladder, that's why they're playing it, is for the instant matchmaking situation.
Players at their skill level,
yeah, not necessarily the love of grinding the ladder. So if it's something like that, then I think that's great, but it's not very descriptive.
Yeah, they probably don't want to blow their whole load on an announcement that they might not live up to.
Yeah, so other things that they mentioned was a better onboarding experience, which it's been a while since I onboarded onto MTGO, but I don't remember being great, and anything's better than what it is.
They tell you nothing. You don't even know what all this stuff means. Event tickets, what's that mean? What's all the, how do I play a game? They don't even tell you that. You have to go look, Google search for how do I play Magic online and read an article or watch somebody do it.
Yeah. Just go to Twitch and watch somebody. It's fine. And then they're fixing the Commander experience. So this is currently the only officially sanctioned way to play Commander in a client.
Mm-hmm.
And so their multiplayer Commander.
And Modern, Vintage, Legacy, and Pioneer.
Yeah.
Don't forget those. But they are fixing Commander. Sorry, I just want to throw that out because that's important.
Yes, it is. Just making it quicker, clearer is two things they mentioned in the post. And they're also adding a Commander cards periodically that aren't currently in the client because they skipped a bunch of stuff. Like the Baldur's Gate stuff didn't get put in. So there was no like Baldur's Gate set, if I remember correctly. So they're adding cards as they go. So that's some of the things they mentioned on the Commander front. So that's cool.
Hey man, what if we lived in a world where Magic the Gathering Online is the real Magic and Arena is like the fake digital junk?
That is a world that WotC does not want to exist.
Oh, I know that, but it would be fine with me. So if I want to go play fake cards, I just get on Arena.
So anyways, I think that's it. I guess we'll do speed run the rest of this announcement and just point out that, hey, those Transformer cards that are coming out in the Brothers War, you want to play Commander with them on MTGO, you can buy them in a bundle for like $25.
That's pretty cool.
15 cards, cool stuff. And
it's
then
kind of expensive. I guess I don't really know the MTGO economy well enough to say whether or not
it's expensive for MTGO economy for sure.
Well, yeah. But it's a bundle, and it's the only place that you can get them because they won't be
in the packs.
Given out as card rewards, treasure chests and whatnot. And then Pioneer Challenger decks are coming to MTGO, so that's cool. I guess there'll be a lot of Is It Phoenixes running around in Pioneer in the future, I assume, and then like nothing else.
It'll be worthless.
Oh, Commander starter decks.
Yeah, they had some on there before. They had Kaldheim ones on there last time I looked, but they're updating them.
This is a specific product that was called Commander Starter Decks. They're a little cheaper than set Commanders or the Commander products themselves. This meant for like onboarding people into Commander.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So
less complicated, a little more straightforward. No Astart Warriors.
No Astart Warriors. Exactly.
With the Pioneer precons, you think there will now be like 3 or 4 people playing Pioneer on MTGO?
Yeah. That matchmaking probably take a little bit.
It's in the Pioneer queue, and that's always just Is It Phoenix mirror matches.
Yeah, everybody's double queuing into Modern and Pioneer. I got 2 clients open.
All right. You guys got anything else you want to talk about as far as news goes?
Nope.
Seriously?
Oh, yeah, I do, actually. There's some secret layers that they announced that are sweet.
This is a family show. Isn't that what you tell me every time I drop an F-bomb?
Hey, look, when I drop an F-bomb, I take clear consideration in how impactful it is because that's more work for me. So when I mean it, I mean it. So they have some new secret layers that they announced.
I mean it too. What do you mean?
I know you always mean
it. I don't mean it when I swear.
So as part of the October Super Drop, there was showed some, there's just like a whole bunch of ones, but there's 2 bundles that I want to point out as like being super awesome. The first one is Junji Ito's art on Thoughtseize, Carrion Feeder, Doomsday, and Plague Crafter. And it's like black and white, almost pencil drawing. It's sick. Like, go look at them.
Pardon me for not being in the know, but what is Junji Ito known for as an artist?
Horror mangas.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's his signature style that he does. So you get those 4 cards, and they have a foil etched version for $10 more. And I think the foil etching is going to look sick on this black and white. So I'm super excited. I am going to purchase that one. And not only that, but each of these that we talk about has arena sleeves to put your arena decks into for each of the cards. So that's also a bonus. And then the other one is Yoji Shinkawa, who is the Metal Gear artist. That's the one that also really gets me. They look so good.
Too bad the foils here aren't like etched or anything. They're just regular foils.
Yeah, but I'll probably just get the original ones on these because Secret Lair foils are kind of weird sometimes.
I personally would never pay $10 additional to have somebody turn my cards into Pringles, but that's just me.
Yeah, wow. You put them in hard sleeves and then you put them in a case and then they look nice.
But with these Secret Lairs, I have never bought any of them.
Uh-huh.
Are they more valuable if you leave them in the package?
Probably.
That's somewhat disappointing because, I would want to buy these, and I would definitely not want to leave them in the package.
Yeah, I would guess that over time the actual box gets more expensive than the individual cards, like the sum of the parts.
So, one of the things that I do know about here with comic books is these. Let me ask, do they come in any kind of packaging inside the box? Like, are they in plastic sleeves?
No, they're in yes, they're not sleeves, but they're just that plastic that the promo card comes with. Like when you bought New Capenna, the Gallagher Eaters come in that little.
So again, I don't know if this applies to Magic cards because I don't really have.
Or sorry, in a pre-release kit. You get a promo card in there, and it comes in just a little.
Right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Okay. That's
so. My question is: comic books sometimes come in bags like those, and where on the back of it, the flap that you use to tear it open, can cause damage to the back of the comic book. Can put an indent into it.
Oh.
Where it lays flat on there for so long.
Hmm.
Can that happen to a Magic card? Do you know?
I don't know. Let me go get my Secret Lair I haven't opened yet. Hold on.
Well, I don't want you to open something you didn't plan on opening.
I don't know if he's still planning on doing this, but he was telling me he's planning on putting them in the plastic cases and then hanging them on the wall. All the Secret Lairs he's been buying as like an art piece.
Yeah, that's the idea. So I just opened the Street Fighter one, and I'm kind of disappointed in the packaging. Wish I had this on camera, but the characters themselves are in just one single plastic, see-through clear plastic, and they put the Hadouken on a different sleeve, taped to the another side, which immediately pringled it, and the Hadoukens were the one that's worth money.
Oof.
It's a lightning bolt variant.
Yeah.
And I got the foil one, so it's super pringled. That's upsetting.
Better get your flattening brick out.
Oh, is it a miscut too? That might be worth money.
Dude,
I'm not going to open, but yeah, I see what you're saying, and it definitely could. Okay. I'm not saying it did, but it definitely. If you leave this in here, especially this Hadouken, how they had it packaged, it could definitely put.
Right, because my thought process, especially too, is if you leave them in there and then they sit for long periods of time, where are you going to put it that some weight's not going to get put onto it or something's not going to happen that's going to put some pressure onto it and cause that to further be pressed into it. Mm-hmm. And then if you take them out and you don't take them out of the plastic, you put them in a hard plastic sleeve, you're really pressing that plastic into it. So I think the best bet to protect the cards to begin with would be to open the package.
So I'm sitting on a couple of From the Vaults that I haven't opened. Should I open those then? Is that what you're? Is what we're coming to the conclusion?
I think you should because. Check the YouTube to see this video, but it came with this on this side, and then the Hadouken was sandwiched in here like this. I'll show you guys this video too. It's actually it makes me upset that I spent $40 or $50 on this, and this is how it came. with this middle divider, putting pressure right on that spot operator Dave is talking about, that could cause damage to the back of the card. So that is not good. Cool box though. Oof.
So the from the vaults, do you know if the back card is like a generic land, like a typical magic pack is?
No, because they're just, you get the 10 cards that are in it. I don't know what the bottom card is because I haven't opened them, but they're like packaged in the clear cellophane. And then you get there are 3 packs, I think. And then you can see the top card, and then there's other cards underneath them. I don't know what the bottom card would be.
Yeah, I know with those sorts of things, the value is typically in leaving them sealed, just so that the person who buys it has the mystery of what's inside. You know,
but it's written on the side of the box. God damn it!
But
so I have some bad news.
Yeah,
it didn't cause damage to the back, but the pringling caused damage to the top.
Oof!
Oh,
the way it was pringled in there, it's like it's like mega pringled, and I don't know if you can see it on here, but it's not gonna play on camera. No, but I'll show you the video. But yeah, it's because I took it out of the plastic, and also this is cut really funky too. It's not a good cut. I don't think it's a mistake error type cut. It's just crappy on this corner. Anyway, sorry. Sidetracked.
This is the unexpected content people come to see. Or not see.
Because even in comic books, there are situations where sometimes you just accept that there may be damage to the book. And you leave it in whatever plastic bag it came in. So, were some cases where Ultimate Comics, All New Spider-Man 1, which is the first solo Miles Morales book, came in a poly bag. It is not see-through at all. So if you buy it in the poly bag, you have absolutely no idea what condition the comic book is in. Somebody could have been using that comic book as a frisbee, for all you know. Right. But also there were 200, I think, 202,000 of those books came with a voucher to get a signed Stan Lee book. And to date, all of that, not even a third of those vouchers have been redeemed. And so some people prefer to buy them in the poly bag because they like to have that chance. Maybe there's a voucher in there.
Oh, I see.
Do love me my vouchers. All right. So we moving on from the nonsense
real quick, I do want to mention these 2 secret layers that Ben's talking about again. Just from a value standpoint alone, even if you were to completely separate, say, I don't care about these artists, nothing, having a Thoughtseize in one of these. The value in that one alone is probably just between the Doomsday and the Thoughtseize pretty close to paying for itself, right?
Thoughtseize is about 20. Doomsday is... Oh, it hasn't been printed since 6th edition. $11, $12. It dipped when they announced the secret layer, it looks like.
But at $11 or $12 and $20 for the Thoughtseize is $30 total, which is the cost of the regular secret layer.
Yeah, and it's sick too. So
right.
Okay. You've got me interested in the Junji Ito. What manga name? Drop his mangas that he does.
Uzumaki and Tomei. Tomie.
Nice.
Those are both
looking for recommendations.
They're very good reads.
And then he does a bunch of short stories, it looks like, that are found in his Junji Ito volumes.
Nice.
Too.
But, the other one too. The
Metal Gear?
The Metal Gear one. Skull Clamp, correct me if I'm wrong, is still about a $20 card?
I think they've printed it all to High Hell and Commander.
Okay, maybe not then.
But it is the best Skull Clamp art, better than that one from Warhammer. Yeah, it's good. I like it.
Yes, awesome. Let's move on to our last little bit of news. Wizards released a World Championship Viewers Guide, which is nice for people like me who never know what the hell's going on. And they let you know when the events start, what's going on, who's broadcasting, where, give you a little bit of the bios for each.
Let you know when to avoid their Twitch because they're going to be broadcasting Pioneer.
Yeah, yes. Give you links to all the hosts and play-by-play people's Twitters. I think it's nice.
So they're getting their shit together.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. This is the first time I've seen this.
Are they getting their shit together, or are the organizers getting their shit together for them?
Fair enough.
One of those two things is true. Anyways, so World Championship 25, 6, 7, 8.
Who are the new organizers now?
DreamHack?
Yeah.
I think that's right.
I think that this is one that WotC is doing.
Oh,
because it's the World Championship.
Yeah. I think you're right, because it also has WotC veterans, Marla Betholdi, Cedric Phillips, Marshall Sutcliffe, Corey Baumeister. I think Paul Cheon was also on there. I've seen.
Yep.
So all of these people I've seen at some point.
I mean, they've got streams. Clear broadcast schedule, a clear list of what's going on, when, on what days, and whatnot. So definitely, we'll probably, maybe, potentially check this out.
Oh wait, so they have the players, 32 players.
They
have them listed here.
Oh man, they're really going to town on this one. Got everybody on the lineup.
So they listed what they qualified for, top 8 New Capenna, and then there's the league people. So I guess they've just veteraned in some people like Reed Duke. And then there's challengers that won different things for different reasons, and then the Neon Dynasty. That's cool. And then last year's world champion.
Who was last year's world championship then? Championship winner.
Yuta Takahashi.
Looks
like.
Nice.
So yeah, that's cool. They have it's all planned out. This is probably what I missed when the streamers were like, I didn't qualify. The streamers I watch. They're saying, well, I didn't qualify, so.
They don't have.
I wonder if there are some people who turned them down.
Maybe.
Like that were invited but said no?
Yeah. Because Paolo had said a year or so ago that he wasn't going to go to tournaments anymore unless Wizards changed their policy on paying for hotel rooms and everything else, because he said that the cost was just too high for him to fly around and go to all the events and then pay for his own lodgings and his own food and everything.
Right.
So I wonder if there's some players like him. I can't think of his name right now. Yellow hat guy.
So maybe he would have been in one of the league spots. You think?
Right. Maybe. Yeah. I would assume Paolo was name for a while in Magic. So for him, you want him there.
I would imagine you would. Yeah.
Yeah. And I know they've been trying to make Reed Duke that name for a while, but
he's like the Tom Brady of Magic. They're championing him up as the.
Yeah, they like to make him the face as many times as possible.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, he's good on camera. I get it.
Yeah, I don't see Seth Mansfield isn't on here, so I don't know if he didn't qualify or not. I'm more intrigued by the people who aren't on here.
Right. Yeah, there's a lot of names missing.
Than I am by who is on here.
The thing I like about this is that they're really taking the time to lay the tracks, leading everybody up to it. You know what I mean? It's you want to watch this. This is where you go. You've got plenty of time to get your crap together and show up when you want to show up and watch. So I think this might be the first time I've seen something like this in a while anyways from them, where they're just hey, this is happening. It's a big deal.
So this happens on October 28th, 29th, and 30th, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it's good that they released this a few weeks before.
Yeah, it happens at the Magic 30 event. Big deal.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's cool. Probably check it out. I don't know.
Maybe I'll probably watch it.
I don't care how we leave by portal or on feet. We just need to get out of here.
Maybe we can find something else to power the portal?
Like what?
I don't know. Maybe we find a power stone or something? They used to be a big deal back in ancient Dominaria. People used them to power all kinds of devices, or at least that's what the book I read said.
Hey, where do we get one? A power stone monger? Can we buy one at the local market? And with what gold?
I'm trying my best here. It's exhausting always running away from things trying to kill us. Plus, I put on some weight since we got here. Too much fried food. I ain't got the stamina for this anymore. Why don't you come up with a plan for once?
You never even listened to my plans. Remember when my plan was to leave the boss alone?
But he was a Phyrexian.
You didn't know that, and the boss wasn't after us until you made us his problem. We would be fine right now if you hadn't started with your crap.
Did you guys say Power Stone? I think I know where I can get one of those, but you guys got to promise to stop fighting. It's making me anxious.
Sorry.
Where?
The goblins in Shiv talk a lot about a place that makes them. I bet we can get one from there.
And where is this place, Wazoo?
It's in Shiv.
How are we going to get to Shiv?
Yeah, that's a long walk from what I've heard.
If you just walk a while in that direction, or is it that one? Don't worry, I know a guy. He's leaving tonight.
Now that we've handled the news, what do you guys want to talk about? We got some stuff to talk about. A general discussion topic, perhaps.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to see what, like a week out, what the rest of like the formats looked like after the bannings.
You wanted to talk about the formats after the bannings, huh?
You want to talk about Pioneer, don't you?
There were no bannings in Pioneer because Pioneer is the best format. It's perfectly balanced.
Not the question I asked you. All I said was, if you want to talk about Pioneer, don't you?
Honestly, I'd rather talk about Modern because I think Modern's in a pretty good place right now.
Okay. Well, tell us about it.
So with the banning of Sky Noodle, we saw a decrease in 80 card decks. I haven't been to play in paper yet. I'm going tomorrow. But what I see like people playing on Moto, it seems like the Bruin is going back. So people are going back to the drawing board, trying different things now that they don't have the singular oppressive 4-color Yorion elementals, money piles that work their way through. I don't know how much the meta will shift, but I think without having that, I feel like the meta is looking a little more diverse. And post Yorion, people are like, okay, you banned the wrong one, ban Ren and 6. I've actually been playing with Ren and 6, and I think that what Ren and 6 does, just because it occurs in a lot of decks, isn't really the reason why they haven't banned it is not based on how many decks it's in or what share of the format it has. It does something very specific that I think is very welcome and needed in Modern. And what that thing is it allows for creative decks that would normally be pushed out by the speed of Modern to run consistently enough to compete. Like with the Ren and 6, all you have to worry about is I got green mana, I got red mana. I can recur my fetch lands and then fix the rest of my mana to play, some 4-color, 5-color stuff. And if you ban Ren and 6, I think the format would actually homogenize down to, the Murktides of the world and things like that.
See, a lot less of the 5-color janky. Right?
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, exactly. And I think that's one of the things that Modern can lean into and to make it a format people are interested in. I know it's the most popular constructed format aside from Commander already, but in between Modern Horizons releases, people think it gets a little stale. And I think if you ban Wrenn and 6, that complaint will double.
And so things are better once they removed all the noodly.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're going to find, some good stuff happening. I think maybe Indomitable Creativity
Do you think that is all that it's going to take to really open up the meta?
No, I think Omnath might still be kind of an issue, but
I've heard people are having trouble getting Omnath to work now.
Without Yorion?
Yeah. I mean, I have not confirmed that, but that's just what I've heard.
You still kind of need Wrenn and 6 because of the mana fixing. Omnath works best because in a format with fetch lands, because you're getting 2 land drops every turn. And with Wrenn and 6, you're guaranteeing that land drop. So those 2 together might be a problem, but I don't know. I haven't played around enough. Like Omnath, I use Omnath in my Indomitable Creativity deck, Rhino's deck. And I don't ever seem to have a problem casting him in that, but he also has...
I'm not saying people are having problems casting him. I'm saying people are having problems just making him work as well as he used to work in terms of winning games.
Oh.
No elemental wants to work anymore, man. What can you say?
And like I said, I didn't confirm that, and I don't play Modern. It's just the people that I have talked to have said that they are struggling to make Omnath a viable deck in Modern now.
I would wonder what deck they're throwing him into. Is he the main point of the deck? Because I can see that.
I believe so, yes.
Without the elementals and the mass load of spells in an 80 card deck to bolster his landfall triggers. But yeah.
But like I said, I don't know that any of that is true. It's just what I've heard talking to people.
Yeah, because the 4th trigger on the landfall, or the last one where you get Wooburg, might be less important if you're not trying to cast a bunch of elementals. To
me, it just feels like I understand this banning from the points that they had made about 80 card decks and the shuffling and the time that it takes and how hard that deck is to pilot. Just not even taking that stuff into consideration. But to me, I've said this before, so beating a dead horse. I just don't think there's any fixing Modern at this point.
Yeah, I think that's the kind of that point I was trying to make by keeping things like Wrenn and 6 in there to allow for these wild, crazy combo. I guess that's the point. If you make it like Pioneer or Standard, then there's no point even having the format. And if you make it so that it's just too fast turn to kill, that's also not really fun. So maybe make it more of an interactive, non-linear type format.
Like I said, I don't know how you fix it. I just don't.
Yeah.
I don't think you can fix it.
A tree and a druid, man. Come on. Haven't you been listening?
Wrenn and 8 will solve everything.
That's right, man.
Get a new tree, new life.
So, do you have any hot takes on the standard meta post Meatball Massacre?
No, not too much. I think the issue with the standard. Have you guys seen anything?
When I was on Meat Hook hadn't been banned yet because there was like a 3-day delay. So last time I was playing is like, it's like everybody's like, well, it's no point in playing. This is a dead meta, and I'm like, yeah.
So I don't have much opinion on that, except that I think that Rafine deck, I don't think it used Meat Hook, did it? Either way, I think that's going to be the top, I think, of the meta. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what impact banning Meat Hook, because there's a couple of things.
I don't think that it's fixed black being in a lot of stuff.
No, it just probably it probably is going to do exactly that. What they said, and make more wide decks more viable. But like, I haven't tried to play one of those decks.
Yeah, it's hard to do like metagame stuff on Arena if you don't drop metric butt tons of money into the client.
Yeah. So we'll see. I guess we'll hold that discussion until we kind of dig in and see how the meta shifts. Arena's a little slow to shift too. And I can't look at MTGO at this point either. So
I can tell you that Historic has been awful to players. That I think they're going to end up banning some part of the Izzet deck in Historic soon.
I was about ready to go, what do you mean? I've been playing lots of Historic and it's been great.
Are you playing Izzet?
Yes.
Is Expressive Iteration still?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be the one.
It's not really what that deck needs to function. That deck will run fine without it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know what you would take out of it to make it less viable, because nerfing gosh darn it, what's the Delirium direct damage spell? What's
Unholy Heat?
Unholy Heat. Like, they nerfed that, and they nerfed Darcy.
They nerfed the Channeler.
Yeah, the Dragon Rage Channeler, and it did not do anything to slow that deck down. It's
I just I don't know what the answer is, but Sunday I played about I want to say I played about 15 matches, and 12 of them probably were Izzet.
Is it Phoenix specifically?
There's no Phoenixes anymore, as far as I can tell. I never saw Phoenix.
So it's that Izzet prowess thing.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never update my decks, so I still have Phoenixes in mine.
Yeah, it's Symmetry Mage, Soulscar Mage, and the flying dude that gives them trample whenever you cast an instant or a sorcery, and the guy who lets you play stuff from your graveyard. I can't think of his name.
Okay.
Red Horde Arcanist.
Oh, yeah, that deck, yeah. I see that a lot. And
I mean, it was excessive, the amount of... I was like, what is going on?
Do you think that if they changed the trigger on Dragon Rage Channeler to be once per turn, that would slow it down?
No.
For Surveil?
No, I don't know what kills it, but I know that... I mean, and maybe the sample size is too small, but just it seems like based on play rate, they're going to have to do something soon.
Yeah, I don't know. Dreadhorde Arcanist is probably an issue.
Yeah, I was thinking Dreadhorde Arcanist is probably the easiest one to solve it, but I actually not sure that fixes the issue.
Would it be if they changed the Dreadhorde Arcanist instead of an attack trigger, it deals combat damage to a player?
I don't think that would change it at all, but maybe because then they couldn't
kill your stuff.
They couldn't clear the board on attack. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy's nasty.
Yeah, and I mean, maybe some people maybe I just matched up against a bunch of people who haven't felt like making new decks or something recently, but it was the only thing that I played against over the weekend.
Oh, it also doesn't help that Adeliz buffs wizards whenever there's an instant or sorcery spell cast, and the Dreadhorde Arcanist is a wizard.
Yeah.
And
they use they use the Mentor's Guidance to draw 2 cards, and that deck's crazy.
Yeah. That's what I like about Magic, is that you can take 2 cards that aren't played and then turn them into a metagame destroying thing. Yeah, it's great.
Very nice. So that's our metagame breakdown. Do you want to talk about the Pioneer metagame for a little bit, Ben?
No, nothing to report. It's stable and great and perfectly balanced.
How great are the people you play against?
Just as good as me.
Shocking.
It's a real equal matchup, actually.
Yeah.
Do they know your moves ahead of time?
They might. I try to forget them. But yeah, we can save like a more in-depth standard look until we kind of dig into that. I just wanted to kind of say, I think Sky Noodle being gone is a good thing.
No, Sky Noodles.
It probably definitely is.
It's still in Pioneer if you want to play him.
Okay, stop trying to get people to play Pioneer.
But it's less of a problem because there's stuff to blink in Pioneer, but like not like the fetch elementals or the pitch elementals in Modern. Like that's just wild.
I'm personally not a fan of any of the companions. They make me angry.
I think that they don't want to call it a mistake, so they just keep banning a little one at a time, and then eventually, because as soon as Yorion was banned, like a whole bunch of streamers on the internet started like taking out their Obosh and their Lutries and they're trying to break the next one. But yeah, we'll see.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Let's wrap this show up. Why don't you tell them where they can find us there, Ben?
They can find us on Twitter at MPGPod. You can find me on my personal Twitter at BeNiceMPG. Where can they find you, moderator Dave?
They can find me on Twitter at Dave_MPG. Where are you at currently, other Dave?
I'm on a boat.
And
No, just I'm on a boat.
Is it going fast? You got your flippy floppies?
I have flippy floppies.
Can you explain to me one thing?
I can try.
How are you supposed to get to Magic 30 in Vegas, which last time I looked at a map was in the middle of a desert via boat?
Big earthquake that knocks the California shelf into the ocean, and then he just pulls right up.
Or I'm just going to get off the boat in California, go to Vegas from there.
How often does a Tool song actually happen, though? It's pretty unlikely.
Well, when it does, though. If you throw enough shit at the wall, eventually it'll stick. That's not saying that Tool is shit, because Tool is actually very great.
So you've double-checked to make sure this boat is heading south, right?
I don't know. Do you have a compass? Does it work on a boat?
Compasses
I don't have one. I don't carry one around with me. I assume we're going south.
They're getting warmer or colder?
Colder.
That could be just the winds, though. You could be in the cold winds.
Hopefully you know where you're heading next week. All right, let's wrap this up.
You can also send us an email at podcast@magicprovinggrounds.com if you'd like to tell us what you think about.
Share your thoughts and opinions, diatribes.
Share your thoughts on Yorian getting banned.
Yeah.
Whether or not you like Reed Duke.
Yeah.
Right.
The current condition of Standard. How much you don't play Pioneer.
And was Ian Duke...
Peyton Manning, and then the other Manning?
Eli. Yeah, Ian's the Eli.
I mean, they both got a championship ring.
That's true.
Unlike
same
Cooper
number.
Manning.
Oh, man.
Which one of them is Cooper Manning is the real question.
Isn't he like a real estate agent or something?
I don't. I think he's nothing. I mean, why if you have because I mean, it's not like his dad was, Archie Manning. Yeah. Like, I'm pretty sure Cooper Manning was just like, I'm just going to sit around. You guys got this all wrong. Going out here and working hard, playing football and hurting yourselves. We're rich. I could just sit here and live.
Cooper Archibald Manning is an American entrepreneur and television personality.
So when you got money, they just call you an entrepreneur.
Yep. And so he's the host of his television personality credits are he's the host of television show The Manning Hour for Fox Sports. So he's even riding on the coattails of his dad and his brothers.
It's rough, man.
Sorry, Coop. Yeah, Liquid Snake, yeah. It's a Metal Gear Solid thing.
That's a Metal Gear Solid reference I didn't understand because I've never played the game.
Solid Snake, Liquid Snake.
I thought you were like, is he liquid? And I'm like looking on the card. I'm like, he doesn't look like he's liquid, but he does have like his main power is metal manipulation, so he can make metal liquid if he wanted.
Yeah,
he's one of the only planeswalkers that can travel with a planar gate through the blind eternities.
You just said what?
I said Tezzeret. One of the things that he can do that makes him special is he's one of the only planeswalkers that can travel with a planar gate.
What, planeswalk with it. Through it or with it, holding it?
With it, with him.
So he can go through the blind eternities with the gate, set it up on the other side, and allow his buddies through?
Yes.
That
Yeah, I mean, he's been working with the Phyrexians probably for that reason.
I don't like Tezzeret.
I don't either.
He seems like an asshole.
He's a doucher.
He's like the worst because he's only, guys, please complete me. And the Phyrexians are like, yeah, give us a minute. And he
go do some more stuff for us.
Yeah, go do some more stuff. And he's like, okay, I'll do it. But you guys are going to complete me next. Like, when I get done, promise? And they're like, yeah, sure, Tezzeret.
He's probably really pissed when some other planeswalker gets completed first.
He was, man.
Into Kamigawa. Because he's in Kamigawa, too.
After they completed Tamio, he was like, you going to do me next? And they're like, nah.